Hello and welcome. This video is about data block in Siemens PLC. It is the continuation of our series about PLC fundamentals. A data block in Siemens PLC is a memory area used to store data. It can store variables like Boolean, integer, real values, even structures and arrays, separate from the program logic itself. After the end of the video, you will be able to make a data block in PLC program and then monitor the values of the data block, just like I am right now monitoring the values of the data block. This data block contains Boolean values, two Boolean values, two words, and a double word value. These are the initial values, and now the actual values from the PLC program. I have set these values and you can monitor the status. Boolean values are high, and it also has analog values and double word value. So let's get started with the PLC program. I'm using a simulator. This is the PLC program. I have already made a data block 1, but for you guys to understand the concept of data block and how to access its Boolean and analog values, I will make another one. I will create a new data block with the name db2. Well, shared data block means that this data block, if I create it, it can be accessed by any function in the PLC program. It can be accessed from anywhere. Contrary to shared data block, we have an instance data block. Instant data block is the data block associated with a particular function block in the PLC program. If you don't have any idea about the function block, you can watch the function block in my PLC programming series. Well, the data block associated with a particular function block is called instant block, while the shared data block is a generic data block whose values can be accessed anywhere in the program. I'll click OK. Now this data block has been created. For understanding, I'll create a number of Boolean and analog values in this data block, and will later on access these values in the PLC program. Now I have named this binary signal as pressure HH. I'll create a new pressure low Boolean signal. In this particular data block, 2.0 is the address of this binary signal. 2.1 is the address of this one. And if I create a third one, Boolean signal, its value will be stored in 2.2. And this is how its address will proceed. Now I will create a word signal in this data block. I will name it as oil temperature. Level sensor, the analog value will be stored in this address, and I will also create a double word signal. I will name it as flow. If you pay attention to the addresses, it automatically creates an offset in order to leave the room for some other binary signals, and the word value the address start from 4.0, and definitely since it is 2 byte, it automatically jumps to 6.0 for the next value, and similarly it jumps to 8.0, and if I create another one double word, it will start from 12 because double word has 4 bytes. And so this is how it will keep on expanding. Now I will save it, and it's time to access these values in the PLC program. So DB2 is the block number, and 2.0 was the address of first binary signal. So straight away I will go to the PLC program. This is an already developed program. Add another network. I will associate it to a very simple logic I 0.0, and I will set the first binary signal of the DB2 block with I 0.0, DB2 DBX 2.0. DB2, the block DB2 as I created. 2.0 was the first binary signal. I will show it to you guys in a short while. I'll make the logic for another one for demonstration purpose. I 0.1. I'll set the value of the second binary signal of the data block, DB2 DBX 2.1. Similarly, the third one, I 0.2 DB2 dot DBX 2.2. So these were the binary signals that I set with these simple PLC program logic. If I go again to the DB2 block, so 2.0, DB2 is the block number, DB2 dot DBX 2.0, 2.1, 2.2. Well, X is, remember, it must be associated with each binary signal of the data block. So that is specific to binary signals. Now I will access this value 4.0 in the PLC program. In the OB1, we have the logic IW 1.0. It has the sensor value, since it is the input sensor, analog sensor associated or interfaced with this channel of the PLC. So I will assign the value to DB2 DB word 4.0. Now this contains the scaled analog value. Since it is red over here, so I will write it again, db word 4. Now it's time to access this level sensor value 6.0. I will store it into db2.db word 6. It's time to refer the third signal, which is the double word flow sensor. The address is 8, and in order to access the double word, you must have to write db2.dbd8. This is how you will do it. db2.dbd8. This is how you do it, and this is how you refer it if it is double word. I will save the PLC program, and since I am using the simulator, I will download it to the simulator. Yes, I will overwrite on the existing organization block, monitor the PLC program. From simulator, I am giving the value, the hex value of 9029. It scales it and then store it in the specific data block. So this is how the word and double word values are stored in the data block. You straight away go to the data block and monitor it. And over here you can see the actual value of the data block. Both binary signals have been set. The analog values have been set in this way. So the actual values are being monitored and being displayed in the monitor mode of the PLC program. From the program, you can see the status as well of the organization block. These values are stored over here and you can see it, while the binary signals can be monitored in these networks. I0.2, if I set it from the simulator, this value will be set as well. db2.dbx2.2. This value has been set as well. So this was a simple example of data block in which we store binary values, analog values, word, double word, and we accessed these values in the PLC program, stored some values in it for demonstration purpose, and then monitored it. That what is the status of the signals in runtime or real time. Binary signal, we use the word db2.dbx2.0 in order to refer the binary signal in the PLC program, db word for word, and dbd for the double word. Apart from these values, which are binary values, word and double word, we can also store the byte value, time value, integer, real, etc. in the data block, and similarly we can access those values in the PLC program as well. So that was a simple video about the data block, its associated signals, and how we refer the signals of the data block in the PLC program. So that's it for now. If you have any question, you can ask me in the comment section. In the next videos, we will go further towards the PLC programming series, towards more complexity. So thank you for watching the video and see you next time.